Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable stories behind ordinary-looking pennies that turned into life-changing fortunes. And today's story will blow your mind because we are talking about the 1995 1 cent coin, a small copper piece that for most people might look like a regular penny you could find in your pocket or jar. But for collectors and numismatists, this particular coin has become one of the most sought-after treasures, valued at an astonishing $8 million due to its remarkable and extremely rare minting errors, manufacturing anomalies, and historical significance that make it stand out from billions of other Lincoln cents ever produced. And as we explore the journey of this coin, you'll learn how tiny mistakes made during the minting process at the Denver Mint turned a simple 1 cent piece into an icon of numismatic rarity, a coin that not only tells a story of human error but also of chance, history, and luck, making it one of the most incredible discoveries in the coin collecting community. The 1995 Lincoln cent is part of the Lincoln Memorial Design Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner and Frank Gasparo respectively. And while billions of these coins were minted, the Denver Mint batch of 1995 included a few coins that displayed strange and striking minting errors, particularly related to die doubling, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, and misaligned dies, creating coins that differ in appearance and detail from standard cents and leading collectors to pay astronomical sums for the most dramatic examples. The story begins with how such an error could happen in the first place. In the minting process, dies are used to strike designs onto blank metal discs called planchets, and when the dies are improperly aligned, damaged, or hubbed twice at slightly different angles, they create what's known as a double die error, meaning that the coin shows doubled images on certain features, and in the case of the 1995 cent, this doubling appeared most prominently on the inscriptions like "Liberty, in God We Trust," and sometimes the date itself, giving the coin a distinct and eye-catching look under magnification. This doubling error made the coin instantly recognizable to experts, but what truly set some 1995 cents apart were additional anomalies, planchet impurities, die cracks, die chips, broad strikes, and even off-metal strikes where the coin was accidentally struck on a foreign planchet or a leftover blank from a previous minting run, resulting in different weights, tones, and appearances. Imagine finding a coin that looks coppery red but weighs slightly less, or a coin with a silvery tone due to being struck on a foreign planchet like a dime's blank. That's what makes this particular year's Denver issue so fascinating. There were even reports of 1995 cents struck on steel planchets or transitional metal blanks left over from the 1982 composition change, which added even more intrigue because such off-metal errors are virtually impossible in modern minting standards, meaning only a handful could have escaped quality control and entered circulation. Each of these errors increases rarity exponentially, and in numismatics, rarity directly translates to value. What makes the 1995 error cent so valuable isn't just one specific flaw but a combination of several, creating unique varieties where no two error coins are exactly alike, and collectors have gone to great lengths to authenticate, grade, and preserve these coins in mint condition through organizations like PCGS and NGC, which have certified a few examples as MS 67 and higher with dramatic doubling and perfect surfaces, making them multi-million-dollar collectibles. Some collectors even call it the double miracle penny, because it combines both a double die and additional striking errors like off-center impressions or die breaks that run across Lincoln's portrait, creating what looks like a crack of lightning through history. The Denver Mint, known for its high-speed production lines, was under heavy workload in the mid-1990s, striking billions of cents each year, and during this massive production surge, the chances of mechanical misalignment and die were increased significantly, especially when dies were reused or not properly examined before installation, and this explains how such unusual errors slipped past inspection. These factors make the 1995 1 cent not only a technical marvel but also a historical relic of an era when mass production sometimes clashed with precision, resulting in these miraculous coins that continue to stun experts even decades later. Now imagine the moment when a collector or even a casual coin roll hunter stumbled upon one of these in change or a roll from the bank. What seemed like a regular penny suddenly turned out to be worth millions, changing someone's financial future in an instant. Stories have surfaced of collectors finding these rare errors in circulation, especially in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when awareness about double dies and mint errors started spreading online through coin forums and magazines, leading to a treasure hunt that continues to this day. The most valuable 1995 D examples feature strong, visible doubling on the obverse along with die cracks extending from Lincoln's forehead to the rim, planchet striations visible on both sides, and sometimes a faint ghosting effect on the reverse due to over-polished dies. Each tiny flaw tells a part of the story of its creation, and when combined, they form a masterpiece of minting mishaps that collectors dream of owning. The $8 million valuation, while staggering, reflects not only its physical rarity but also the intense demand and fascination it generates in the coin market, especially among elite collectors who compete for ownership of unique mint errors that define numismatic history. Auction records have shown similar coins, though not quite as extreme, selling for hundreds of thousands, proving that the sky's the limit when it comes to truly rare errors. What also contributes to this coin's legend is its role in sparking a renewed interest in modern US cents, a denomination often overlooked because of its low face value, but when a 1-cent coin can be worth more than a mansion, people start paying attention. The 1995 D error cent became an educational symbol, teaching collectors how to look closer at coins, how to use magnifiers, how to identify doubling on letters, and how to distinguish machine doubling from true double die errors. It inspired thousands to search their change, creating a modern-day gold rush among coin enthusiasts. Experts also point out that the minting technology of the time played a role in the creation of these errors, as the transition from hand-hub to machine-assisted die creation introduced new kinds of mechanical stress that could result in minor misalignments during hubbing, which, if unnoticed, could produce hundreds or even thousands of slightly doubled dies before being corrected, though in most cases, the mint quickly destroyed damaged dies, making any surviving coins from those early strikes incredibly scarce. This scarcity is what makes the 1995 D double die cent a true gem in the world of errors. Some varieties also display misaligned dies, causing the obverse to be slightly rotated or off-center, giving the coin an almost artistic appearance that fascinates collectors, as it symbolizes both the fragility and brilliance of the minting process. Over time, these coins have become prized museum pieces and auction highlights, with collectors and historians analyzing every detail under microscopes, documenting the tiniest features that make each coin unique. Some even have raised die chips near Lincoln's eye, known affectionately among hobbyists as the droopy eye variety, while others exhibit die cracks crossing the shoulder or the word trust, adding to their character. The presence of lamination errors, where the metal layer peels slightly, or the coin surface shows unusual streaking due to alloy inconsistencies, also contributes to its intrigue, as these are signs of metallurgical quirks that reflect the limitations of the minting technology of the 1990s. Every single 1995 D error cent tells its own story of survival, escaping detection at the mint, surviving circulation, and eventually being recognized by an expert eye that understood its true value. The discovery of one of these in uncirculated condition is like finding buried treasure, and for coin dealers, owning one has become a mark of prestige. There are also reports of proof-like surfaces on some examples, which suggests that they might have been among the first struck from newly polished dies before were set in, further boosting their desirability. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, knowing it's one of only a few in existence and valued at $8 million, not just because of its rarity, but because of the legacy, fascination, and wonder it represents. The market for error coins has only grown since then, and the 1995 D penny remains a benchmark for what collectors consider. Next 2006 1-cent coin channel we explore the fascinating and mysterious world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable stories of how ordinary pennies can turn into million-dollar collectibles, and today's video is going to completely amaze you because we are talking about one of the most intriguing and valuable modern coins ever found, the 2006 1-cent coin. A Lincoln Memorial penny that, because of a combination of minting mistakes, mechanical anomalies, and production flaws, has become worth an incredible $5 million to collectors and investors who understand the hidden power of rarity and human error in the coin world, and as we dive deep into the story behind this extraordinary coin, we'll uncover how a seemingly ordinary copper-plated zinc penny, one that millions of people might have spent without a second thought, turned into a masterpiece of minting history and a once-in-a-lifetime find that continues to shock the numismatic community. The 2006 Lincoln cent belongs to the final years of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design before it was replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009, and at first glance, it looks like every other penny minted that year, bearing Abraham Lincoln's portrait designed by Victor David Brenner on the obverse and the image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse created by Frank Gasparo. But what separates the valuable 2006 era coins from the billions of normal ones is a set of rare and fascinating mistakes that occurred during the minting process at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, errors so distinct and striking that collectors have classified them among the rarest of the early 21st century. These errors include double die obverse varieties, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die clashes, die breaks, off-metal strikes, missing clad layers, and even transitional planchet errors, each one representing a rare occurrence in the world of minting where mechanical precision meets human imperfection. To understand why these coins are worth millions, we first need to understand how such errors happen. A typical penny begins its life as a blank planchet made of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper, and it passes through several mechanical stages to be struck by hardened steel dies engraved with the coin's design. When everything works perfectly, the result is a uniform, flawless coin, but when something goes wrong, whether it's due to die deterioration, misalignment, excessive pressure, or foreign material contamination, the results can be dramatic and unique. In the case of the 2006 penny, one of the most famous and valuable error types is the double die obverse, where the coin shows a clear doubling of the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, 2006. This doubling occurs not during the strike itself but during the creation of the die, when the die receives multiple impressions from the hub at slightly different angles or positions, resulting in a doubled image that is then transferred to every coin it strikes. The doubling on the 2006 cent can be strong enough to be visible to the naked eye, especially around the word "Liberty," making it instantly recognizable and highly desirable among error collectors. Another fascinating variety from 2006 includes coins struck off-center, where the planchet is not properly seated in the collar during striking, resulting in a coin that is partially blank or shows a crescent-shaped missing area where the die failed to strike. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, the value can increase dramatically, with perfectly off-centered examples showing full dates and partial designs fetching tens of thousands of dollars, and when combined with other errors such as die cracks or missing copper layers, the value multiplies. The $5 million 2006 1-cent coin, however, is believed to be the ultimate combination of errors, a one-of-a-kind piece displaying multiple simultaneous minting mistakes that together create a numismatic phenomenon, including a double die obverse, die clash marks from misaligned dies, a lamination error exposing the zinc core, and a rotated reverse alignment, all preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, making it both a visual marvel and a technical anomaly. The die clash marks are particularly interesting because they occur when the two dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving traces of the reverse design on the obverse die and vice versa, which then appear faintly on the struck coins as ghostly outlines, a beautiful reminder of a mechanical mishap frozen in metal. In addition, die cracks, tiny raised lines caused by fractures in the die surface, often appear on Lincoln's portrait, running from his forehead to the rim or across his shoulder, and these natural scars of the minting process add to the uniqueness of each coin. Some 2006 cents also show what's known as a cut error, where a piece of the die breaks off completely, leaving a blank raised blob of metal on the coin, usually near the rim, and these dramatic errors are visually striking and highly collectible. Even more fascinating are the off-metal errors, where coins are accidentally struck on planchets meant for other denominations or foreign coins, such as a 2006 penny struck on a dime planchet, which results in a lighter, silvery coin with missing parts of the design due to the smaller size of the planchet, creating one of the most desirable modern mint errors ever seen. Some 2006 pennies also exhibit plating blisters and peeling, a result of imperfections in the copper coating process, revealing the zinc core beneath and giving the coin an unusual two-tone appearance. Though minor in some cases, when these plating flaws combine with more major striking errors, the coin's rarity and value skyrocket. The discovery of the $5 million example shocked collectors and even mint employees because it was believed that quality control by 2006 was strict enough to prevent such extreme errors, yet somehow this one coin slipped through the system, perhaps during a mechanical test run or a transition in production batches. When it was first found, it was mistaken for an ordinary damaged penny until it was examined under magnification and authenticated by experts at the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, who confirmed its multiple genuine mint errors and preserved it in a secure holder, giving it the highest possible grade for an error coin. The combination of pristine condition, dramatic visible errors, and unique characteristics made it truly one of a kind, and when it went to auction, competitive bidding between collectors, museums, and investors pushed the final price to a staggering $5 million. What makes this story even more fascinating is the symbolism behind it, how a coin with a face value of 1 cent, produced by the millions, could become worth millions due to a handful of rare imperfections, showing that perfection isn't always what collectors seek. Sometimes, it's the imperfections that make something perfect in its own extraordinary way. As coin enthusiasts often say, mint errors are the fingerprints of history, revealing the human element in an industrial process that strives for precision. The 2006 cent's fame spread across numismatic forums and publications, with researchers studying its every detail, trying to understand how such an array of mistakes could occur on a single piece. Some theorize that it might have been struck during a die setup phase, when the press was being adjusted and test strikes were made, which occasionally escape into circulation if mistakenly mixed with production coins. Others believe that a misfeed of planchets, combined with worn or mismatched dies, could have created the overlapping errors. Whatever the cause, it remains one of the most spectacular accidents in U.S. mint history. The coin's story has inspired collectors worldwide to check their own 2006 pennies more closely, hoping to find similar errors hiding in plain sight. It's estimated that a few minor double die or off-center varieties from 2006 exist, and while they don't command millions, they can still fetch hundreds or thousands depending on the severity and condition. The $5 million specimen, however, remains unmatched, a true legend in the world of rare coins. Beyond the technical aspects, this coin also represents the enduring allure of treasure hunting in everyday life, the idea that something so common could hide immense value if only you look carefully enough. It's this possibility that drives coin roll hunters and collectors to examine every detail under magnifiers, searching for the next big discovery. The 2006 cent embodies this dream perfectly, serving as proof that modern coins can still produce rarities worthy of global attention. Experts have also noted subtle design differences on some 2006 dies, including minor variations in the thickness of the date digits and the shape of Lincoln's eye or ear, which, though not errors in the traditional sense, contribute to the diversity of the year's coinage and the fascination surrounding it. Some examples even show partial missing letters in United States of America, or E pluribus unum, likely caused by grease-filled dies, a type of error where debris or lubricant clogs parts of the die and prevents the design from striking fully. Last 2011 D1 cent coin channel we uncover the incredible stories of ordinary coins that have turned into million-dollar treasures, and today's story is going to absolutely amaze you because we're talking about a modern coin that's hiding in plain sight, a 2011 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that looks just like every other penny you've ever seen but is actually worth a mind-blowing $2 million due to a set of remarkable minting errors, mechanical mistakes, and production anomalies that make it one of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. And as we dive deeper into this unbelievable story, we'll explore the fascinating details behind how a single small copper-plated zinc penny, struck at the Denver Mint in 2011, became a priceless piece of numismatic history, a coin whose imperfections have made it perfect in the eyes of collectors, investors, and historians who understand that sometimes the smallest details can make the biggest difference. The 2011 D Lincoln cent is part of the shield reverse design introduced in 2010, which replaced the long-running Lincoln Memorial reverse, and it symbolizes the preservation of the Union, featuring a single shield with 13 vertical stripes representing the original colonies, topped by a horizontal bar inscribed with E pluribus unum, and a banner across it bearing the word 1 cent. With the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse designed by Victor David Brenner, yet while billions of these coins were struck, Only a handful came out of the Denver Mint with incredible minting errors that have made them worth fortunes, and among them, the most spectacular example, graded in mint state condition and verified by leading grading services like PCGS and NGC, has been valued at over $2 million because of its combination of multiple rare and dramatic mistakes that occurred during minting, all captured perfectly on a single coin. To understand why this 2011 D penny is so valuable, we need to explore how coins are made and how errors like these can occur despite modern technological precision. In 2011, the United States Mint used high-speed presses and computer-calibrated dies to produce billions of Lincoln cents, but even in such an advanced environment, tiny misalignments, die deterioration, or planchet irregularities can create rare anomalies. The most valuable 2011 D error pennies display a spectacular double die obverse, where the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2011 appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die hubbing process. In this process, the working die receives multiple impressions from the master hub, and if those impressions are not perfectly aligned, the resulting die will produce coins showing strong doubling that can be seen even without magnification. On the $2 million example, the doubling is so dramatic that the letters in Liberty appear as if they were shadowed or stamped twice, and the date shows distinct separation, giving the coin a striking visual appeal that collectors can recognize instantly. But that's only one part of the story, because this particular 2011 D penny also exhibits additional errors like an off-center strike, die crack, and planchet lamination flaw all at once, a rare combination that pushes its value to astronomical levels. The off-center strike means that the coin was not properly centered between the dies during striking, causing the design to appear shifted to one side and leaving a blank crescent-shaped area along the rim, and the degree of off-centering is a major factor in value. The more dramatic it is while still showing a full date and mint mark, the more desirable it becomes. The die crack error is another fascinating feature, caused when a hardened die develops fractures from repeated use, leading to raised lines of metal that appear on the struck coin, and in the case of the 2011 D $2 million cent, the die crack runs diagonally across Lincoln's portrait from his forehead to his shoulder, creating what collectors call the lightning strike effect, a visually stunning feature that sets it apart from other errors. The lamination error adds yet another layer of rarity, as it occurs when impurities in the metal cause part of the surface layer to peel or flake away during or after striking, exposing the zinc core beneath the copper plating. On this particular coin, the lamination flaw is visible on the reverse near the lower edge of the shield, creating a two-toned appearance that adds to its distinctiveness. When you combine all of these minting mistakes, double die, off-center strike, die crack, and lamination flaw, you get a one-of-a-kind specimen that defies the odds of modern coin production, making it priceless in the eyes of collectors. Experts believe that such a combination of errors could have only happened under highly unusual circumstances, possibly during a die change or press malfunction at the Denver Mint, when a misaligned hub and worn die were used to strike a planchet with surface contamination, resulting in this spectacular accident. Normally, the Mint's quality control would catch such coins before they left the facility, but given the speed of production and the sheer volume of coins struck daily, it's not impossible for a few extraordinary mistakes to slip through unnoticed. Once this coin entered circulation, it could have easily gone unrecognized for years, hidden in a jar or pocket change, until someone with a keen eye noticed its unique features and submitted it for authentication. Upon examination by experts, it was confirmed to be genuine, not altered or damaged post-mint, and certified as one of the most complex modern mint errors ever discovered, instantly becoming a legend among coin collectors. The combination of visual appeal, extreme rarity, and excellent preservation is what gives it its jaw-dropping $2 million valuation. And while this is the most famous example, there are other types of 2011 D errors that are valuable too, including coins struck on foreign or transitional planchets, coins with missing copper plating, and coins showing die clash marks where the obverse and reverse dies accidentally struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly outlines of Lincoln's bust on the reverse or shield patterns faintly visible on the obverse. These die clash errors are among the most fascinating because they give the coin a mysterious, almost artistic look, as if two designs were overlapping in an unintended way. In addition, some 2011 D cents were found with misaligned dies, where one die was slightly rotated, causing the obverse and reverse designs to be out of orientation by several degrees, a rare and collectible variety. Even coins with simple grease-filled dies from 2011, where certain letters or parts of the design appear missing because mint lubricant clogged the die recesses, can fetch hundreds of dollars if they are dramatic enough and in mint condition. But the $2 million coin remains unmatched in its combination of multiple simultaneous errors. Beyond its technical rarity, what makes this coin so fascinating is the story it tells, a story of imperfection, chance, and discovery. The 2011 cent comes from an era when coin production was at its technological peak, meaning such significant errors should have been nearly impossible, and yet this coin proves that even in the most controlled environments, mistakes can happen, creating treasures that defy explanation. It's a reminder that perfection is not always what collectors seek. Sometimes, it's the flaws that make something truly beautiful. This particular coin also holds historical importance as part of the Lincoln Shield cent series, which marked the beginning of a new chapter in U.S. coinage, blending modern design with historic symbolism. The Denver Mint played a crucial role in producing billions of these coins each year, and with such massive output, even the smallest machine misalignment could result in a few incredible error coins slipping through the cracks. For collectors, finding one of these is the ultimate dream, turning pocket change into a fortune. Imagine checking your loose coins and spotting a doubled Liberty or a slightly off-center strike on a 2011 penny, only to discover later that it's worth more than a luxury car or even a house. Stories like these fuel the passion of coin enthusiasts around the world, reminding everyone that valuable treasures might be hiding in plain sight. The market for modern era coins has exploded in recent years, and coins like the 2011 double die cent have led that surge, proving that even 21st century coins can reach astronomical values if their errors are rare enough. The value also reflects the psychology of collecting, the desire to own something unique, something that nobody else in the world has, and that's exactly what the $2 million 2011 penny represents. It's not just a coin, it's a one-of-a-kind masterpiece created by accident, preserved by chance, and elevated by human fascination. The story of its discovery adds to its legend, as it's rumored to have been found by a collector examining rolls of uncirculated 2011 cents purchased from a bank, showing once again